Hi friends. So today I'll show you how to launch the Jupyter Notebook on Windows and do a simple option plain vanilla pricing. So first of all, if you can, if you have installed Anaconda distribution of Python, then Jupyter comes packaged with it. And this is Windows 10. So if you just search on the search bar Jupyter Notebook, you will see this, and this launches Jupyter on your default browser. So this is how it looks. So this is called as Jupyter Notebook, and this is an integrated environment where you can code using Python. And generally, people use it from data for data science things, machine learning things, and very nice integrated environment. And at the end of your work, you can just save it as a notebook and share with your friends. And helps this helps a in lot in collaboration also. So I have already created that program and I'll just show you how to open that program. First you will do new and Python 3. So this will go in another tab, and then if you can just file open wherever the notebook has been shared with you. If your friend has already written a program and shared a notebook with you, you can just do file open. And I have actually kept it under Jupyter Practice. This is I'll just show you the folder, C drive users admin. So I have kept Jupyter Practice, and here you can see my program is there. So first let me rename it. I have misspelled vanilla. Okay. So let's go back to our Jupyter notebook and let's open it. So you can see if your program is kept on desktop, you can open from desktop. Okay. And else wherever it is. In my case, it is in Jupyter Practice folder. I have saved the notebook. You can all see this format, the extension of the notebook. It is .ipynb. So you can just you can see here. You can just launch it, and this opens another tab. So you can see my program is very much here, and I think I'll just show you something here. So what you see, this is some what you see here is just a comment, and we can call it as markup, and rest of it is a code. This is a code, and this is a comment. Okay, so how do you put a comment is so these are called as block. So I can show you how to insert a block. You can insert a cell above, say this becomes a block. Okay, so now what you can do is say I want to write something as a comment. So first I will do is I'll say I have this as my comment. Then and the font of the comment I want to keep small. Anything which is a comment, you have to here select markdown and just do a run. So you can see this has converted to this. So similarly in the next block, I really want this to be a uh, comment again, right? So I'm going to just make it as markdown and just run it. Can you see? I can just run this block. You can see the highlighted block, and I can just run it. So this has also become. Similarly, I have created all these comments. So you can, if you have a knowledge of pricing vanilla option, this all will make sense to you. Uh, so you have a read of it. This shows the option pricing is of course complex. This is Black-Scholes pricing framework, and this whole thing explains this in detail. Okay. Now where did I did not code this program. I will show you something that you can refer while you are learning more things. Okay. So there is a very nice thing called as Kaggle, where the data scientists and programmers compete as well as collaborate. So if you go here, you can create your own login. I have my own login, so I think I'll just try to log in. So I have logged in with my Google account, and if you just search say something, I just say I search sometime you are, if you're lucky, you are able to get certain codes directly. So in my case, I just search for derivative pricing. If there is some example somebody has already coded, this Kaggle also provides an integrated environment, very similar to Jupyter, where people can directly go on the site and code it and share the notebooks. So derivative pricing, if I just search, look at this. I got this notebook. So here you can see I can, this is this program. Okay, so I have copied in as my IPython notebook and shown you. So this is, so this Kaggle, from Kaggle you can actually, you should actually explore it every day and see, there are different type of notebook for different domains, and I think you can learn a lot in data science and machine learning domain by just experimenting and learning from others notebook. So that's about Kaggle. So let's coming back to our program. So you have a read of it what it is, but I'll show you how to run some of the parameters. So for example, for doing this, I want to use pandas. This is one of the library from Python. I also want to use matplotlib for plotting some graphs, and seaborn is another library which is used for plotting of graphs. So you just write from math import exp log and py, import pandas as pd, import matplot lib pyplot as plt, import seaborn as sns, like this. And if you just I generally like to select, though I don't think you have to select, because if you are on a particular block it is already selected. And if you just do run, so it has run it, there is no output of this, that's why you don't see anything in terms of output of this. Okay, then I put some comment that we need to first define the normal probability density function given some random input variable x if we wish to calculate the probability of obtaining that random variable. So this is how that, this is a function, definition is a function, how this is how you define a function in Python. So I have defined this function norm pdf. If you give it x, this is the, it gives you the this formula. Okay, so if you want to run this this again, because just a definition and nobody is yet calling it, it will just run but you will not see any output. Okay, similarly to test this function, say for example I want to give it some values and test, keep, see how we are calling this function, like for I, for this range, I mean for these many values, if j is this, and if I can call, so you can see norm pdf, this is a function I'm calling with the j, right? So this way you can call your above function in the loop and also draw a plot on it. So like this the person has done, and we can also run it. Okay, so if I'll just show you how to run this program, if I just run it, you can see I got this normal PDF graph. Why I got a graph is because I have we have this PLT, right, and we have written subplots, and we have created a, this is a Seaborn library, we have created a line plot with x and y as shown above. Okay, and detail of how it is, what it means, of course, I mean you need to know uh, option pricing for that. Similarly, we have norm CDF function created, right? And then we have tested norm CDF function with this graph. So how to first you call this, run this function, first put the block here, run it, then on this block run it. Okay, so this creates a normal CDF parameter. Similarly, now we just need to calculate d1 and d2. Okay, so this is the definition of d1, and if you just run this block, and then I have written some comment that what is the definition of call price and put price. So if you run these two definitions also, again running of the definition, when you just define the definition, nothing runs, you have just defined the definition. And then some explanation around call put prices, and here you are actually calling vanilla call price and put price with certain parameters, so you can just call it. And then some more explanation and some other example. Okay, and finally you have this call payoffs, put payoffs with some more some more details, some more graphing for call and put options. So if you just want to run it, you will see, you will be able to see the graph. Say if you change something, I'll just show you, say you change some data here. Okay, so you will see there's a change in the graph, right? So whatever you will experiment, you will change some data here. Say, do you see the change in the data here? Okay, so of course, I mean based on what you will code here, and if you just run it, your graphs and your output will change. So similarly, this finally they have call payoffs and put payoffs some in a graphical format. You have to have a read of this, and I think it explains what it does and some data, some notes around it. So I'll just show you. Yeah, look at it. It took us a little bit of time, but you can see the graphs are created. So yes, so this is how you can run your option pricing on the Jupyter Notebook. So thank you for listening to me. Have a good day.